What's up, traders? So welcome to another weekly market analysis video, and in this particular video we will be of course analyzing the market as we will be trading from the first week of August, which starts from what date? From 3rd of August until 7th of August. Without wasting much time, let's jump straight into it. Now, of course, as usual, we start with the economic calendar. Looking at the economic calendar for August, the hallmark of the week is going to be Friday. We have a couple of red folders before Friday, however. So for instance, on Monday, we have some Euro news, we have some CHF news and USD. Tuesday, we're going to be having some Euro news and USD news. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be having some NZ news as well as USD. On Thursday, a couple of AUD, Euro and USD news. And then on Friday, we're going to be having some, Chinese yen, the Chinese yuan news, and as well as Euro card, USD, and card news. Now, hallmark of the week, as I have mentioned, is the NFP, which is a non-farm payroll, which is going to be slotted on Friday. Now, over to the markets and the charts. We will start off, and for this particular analysis, I would like to start off with the monthly, from the monthly time frame. Now, looking at the DXY, what we have right now on DXY is that the market has been some in a kind of consolidation for the past, from the monthly chart. However, looking at this particular month is that we've already done a breakout over this level over there. Then coming down to the weekly time frame, if we jump down to the weekly time frame, you will also realize that the market is already reacting from the this order block on the weekly time frame. Now, if we come to the daily time frame, you will realize that as well as the market is again reacting from that particular order block is also very clear and visible from the daily time frame. Now, assuming and looking at the previous analysis, we've always been projecting for a bullish dollar, and I think time is ripe now to see the dollar going higher, because now initially, let me just recap what we were looking at initially. Once the market broke out of this range over here, so once we had this breakout over here, this change of character, now I had overseen that the market might not be able to pull back to deeper levels like what we did last week. Because last week now we had a very heavy downpour on some USD, based on some USD currencies as well as the JPY currencies. Now we saw the dollar dipping down below and coming to test this daily demand zone. And just to recall that over the last 2 weeks, I've always looked for the dollar to make this kind of a move so that we can test this level before we can, start this move upwards. So, and the market having, the dollar having done that, now I am satisfied, and I will have some clarity going forward, because I will now be looking for for only bullish setups. Now, looking at the lower time frame, what we might expect from the dollar is that if at all the market is able to break this level over here, because this is the structural swing that we can be able to see probably in the 4-hour and also the 1 hour. So if we can be able to break out of this level, then we'll be looking for a pullback down here to start catching the uptrend momentum on dollar index, or rather from the DXY. So for the DXY, we expect some major reaction from this point on, just as I have mentioned, and overall I'll be looking for bullish moves on the dollar henceforth for August. Now let's look at the Euro USD. Now Euro USD from the monthly time frame again. Now, from the monthly time frame on Euro USD, what you will realize is that we've already tested the the market has already tested the monthly order block. So price is has been reacting off this monthly order block that we have over here, which is our very nice and a very nice elaborate supply zone. So we have this supply zone over here, and price has already been reacting on that particular zone. Now, if we go to the weekly time frame, you'll be able to see that price did this liquidation sweep over here from the weekly time frame. Tells you why we've always been looking for sales as well. So this was the last breakup structure, or rather even it's more of a liquidity sweep from that level over there. Now, Now, one of the biggest challenge when it comes to skilled traders is how to secure trading capital in their Forex trading career. Now, I want to introduce you to WeMasterTrade.com, a platform that is ready to empower you in your trading career journey. Now, with WeMasterTrade.com, you can be able to scale up your trading career with either instant or challenge accounts. And the beauty about WeMasterTrade.com is that with as low as $35, you can be able to secure an account for yourself that fits your budget. Now, using the code on this screen and using the link on the description, you can get yourself 30% exclusive to all members in my community. Go out there and secure your trading account with WeMasterTrade.com. Since then, the market has also been making constant break of structure from what we can see over here, because we had the first break of structure going down and the second break of structure going down. Now, from EURUSD, what I've been looking forward to is for price to give me a retracement to this particular order block. So there is an order block that we have from the weekly time frame context. Price is already testing there, but it will be also nice if we go to the daily time frame. You will be able to spot it more even better. So you can see price last week we had this beautiful break of structure. Now, from the higher time frame context, where we already have that break of structure. Now, currently, price is pulling back to what? To these daily supply zone that we have over here. Of course, also coming from the from the monthly. You've already seen how we've broken it down. Now, remember that this also supply zone is based off the of the 50%. I've always been looking for price to get back to this particular supply zone. So, and if at all EURUSD is able to push to that level, then I'll be very interested in going shorts on EURUSD. So for now, this is a supply zone that we are looking. Of course, it is also placed on the premium zones of this FIB tool. So therefore, meaning that it is a very good point of interest that we'll be looking forward to trade coming this month of August. Now we also have this very nice imbalance over here, and I believe that the price will be pushing higher to fill this very nice FVG zone before we see a drop on EURUSD. Now, for the open of the week, if at all price is able to dip to give some little correction, probably you may look to get a buy position, some short-term buy positions from this rejection block over here to ride the price higher, or even you can go to the 1 hour time frame and check if you can be able to get a demand zone. But however, for me, I'll be looking for price to test this supply zone and then give us this kind of a pattern, which is a change of character. Then we will be riding the price down on EURUSD. Now let's look at AUD/USD. So AUD/USD from the monthly time frame. Not much of movement on AUD/USD from the monthly time frame. However, what you can see is that the price, the last structure that the price broke was this one over here. So meaning that this was a kind of a break of structure from the monthly time frame. So this was the break of structure from the monthly time frame. Overall, the previous month as they closed bullish. Over the last 1, 2, 3 months, not much movement in terms of price. Let's go down to the weekly time frame and see what price has for us. Now, from the weekly time frame, you can see price has been trying to push higher for over the last couple of weeks. So price has already been trying to push higher. And let's go down to the daily time frame and see what we have now. Now, from the daily time frame context, price has been very overly bullish. Now, the AUD/USD also came and tested this particular, let's call it is more or less of a support zone or key level. And ever since then, price has been pushing higher. Now, for this coming month, or rather even the first week of August, I would like to see price testing this supply zone over here. And once we do a test of this level, then we can be able to look for this kind of a pattern to go maybe probably shorts on AUD/USD. But if at all we are able to break that zone over there, then it means that our shorts will be invalidated. So we'll be looking for longs. So for AUD/USD, you need to stay alert and see how price reacts on this particular level. Then we'll actually determine where we are headed to next. Now, you see, like just to recall is that this is also a pattern. I was not able to take this particular setup because I was done with trading for the week, but this is a setup that we've also been calling out for the last 4 weeks in my weekly market analysis. So we were looking for AUD/USD to get to these levels, which was a daily demand zone before we can see price pushing higher. So that has already happened. So let's wait for the new week and see how AUD/USD will be behaving. So I'll be updating you accordingly. Now, so let's look at GBPUSD. Let's look at GBPUSD. Now, GBPUSD from the monthly time frame. Let's look from the monthly time frame. All right, so from the monthly time frame, what I can see is that the price, this was the last break of structure going down, and from this leg over here, price has been in a bearish movement. Now, however, also we have a new leg that has been happening, which price has been pushing high. So in my own eyes, what I'm seeing is price reacting on based off these daily, monthly swing high and swing low. Price is already on the premium levels of this fib tool. Now, means that we should be looking for shorts now. So looking from the weekly, from the weekly structure, nothing much in terms of price action, because all this is more or less like a consolidation. But let's look and see from the daily time frame if we can be able to get if we can be able to get anything meaningful out of GBPUSD. So GBPUSD, again, very choppy movement every now and then. So, however, from the daily, you can see price broke, gave us a change of character from the daily time frame context, and therefore we have this swing structure that is hanging over here. So, considering that price again on DXY, we are looking to go we are looking for a bullish dollar henceforth, then it means that we should be looking for shorts on GBPUSD. So I'll be looking at how price will be reacting on these levels. If at all I get a very good confirmation to go shorts, then I'll be looking to take price to break this level over here on GBPUSD. Now let's look at USD JPY. Now, USD JPY, over the last week, on close of last week, we had a very heavy downpour on JPY pairs actually. So you can see, maybe we can start off from the monthly time frame. From the monthly time frame, price has been overly, bullish for a long time. However, we closed with a bearish we closed with a bearish candlestick, which is also a bearish engulfing candlestick. That is from the monthly time frame. Now, let's jump on to the also looking at from the monthly time frame again, is that we had a break of structure on this level here, which we cannot ignore, of course. So we need to consider that we had a very good close break of structure on USD JPY over there. Now, let's go down to the weekly time frame. Now, from the weekly time frame, let's look what we have from the weekly time frame. A very nice bearish, engulfing candlestick going down. And what I was looking forward from the daily time frame context, based on this swing low and this swing high, this was my fib level, 50% fib zone. So I was looking for price to initially I was looking for price to come to test these 50% before we can see a price pushing higher, because USD JPY has been on a very long term bullish trend. Now, what you'll also notice if we go to the daily chart from USD JPY is that each and every month there is an intervention from the bank BOJ to on the price, or rather the pricing of USD JPY. Each and every month we have a very massive push down before price continues to push higher. So this is in the month of February we had one, January we also had one, there is a last year August we also had one. This July, this April, we also had that downpour. Then price started pushing higher. So I'm assuming, like, if at all I am to borrow an idea from what has been happening on USD JPY previously, we've already had that downpour. Therefore, I'll be looking for long trades from these levels over here. So if at all price is able to push down a little bit lower, so we should be looking for short confirmations on USD JPY. So I'm not really convinced that price is able to break this swing low to continue with the downward movement. So I'm looking for longs on USD JPY. So if at all we get this, we are able to test these down levels. Therefore, we'll be looking for confirmation to ride the move upwards on USD JPY, because overly price has been seen very, very in a bullish momentum from the higher time frame context. Now let's look at NAS 100. Let's look at NAS 100. NAS 100. Probably I would like to pull out a cleaner chart on NAS 100. Let me just delete this so the chart gets a little bit smarter. Now, NAS 100, this is the chart that we have on NAS 100. As you can see, price has been very bullish. However, we closed with a bearish candle from the monthly time frame context. And now let's look from the weekly time frame. From the weekly time frame, this is what we have. Now this was the last break of structure going up. In that bullish context, this was the last break of structure. Now, initially, as per my analysis, what I was looking forward on NAS 100 is that a price would at least retrace back to the what? To the 50% zone.
Have you had all the Forex hype online? Flashy cars, false profits? Here, we are not about the hype. We are about the skill. Our training is real, practical, and beginner-friendly. We will train you how to analyze the market, risk management, and also how to grow your account step by step. You can visit us at Spar Mall, second floor, S47, or give us a call on our number, which is in all our social media platforms, to book your slot and start your journey to financial freedom.
At least I was looking for what? A minimal retracement to the 50% retracement on NAS 100. So for NAS 100, we are almost there actually. Price is almost getting to the what? To the 50% of the fib level. Let's jump to the daily time frame and see what we have on that particular level. So from this level, what we can see is that the price is already reacting from what? From this order block, or rather demand zone that we have over here. Now, I'm not sure if that demand zone is the one that will be the ultimate determiner if at all NAS 100 will start its bullish move. But in my own opinion, I think that's just a reaction, price to push higher before we get to see what price reacting. And actually, what I can see right now is that price is already reacting from this beautiful supply zone from the 4-hour time frame context. So from the 4-hour time frame context, price is already reacting on this supply zone, which has very nice imbalance. So I think this would be an opener trade for the what? For the week. So if at all NAS 100, if at all the current supply zone will be holding, then we already have a confirmation on NAS 100. In fact, we already have a very good confirmation on NAS 100. Only that now this trade happened when the week was closing, so it's not a trade that I'm already engaged in. But as we open the week, I'll be looking forward to take this particular setup because it's my A plus setup model. So ideally, what I would have done, my entry will be here. So my stop loss just above, and looking for a take profit of at least a minimal 1:2. Now, from what we have over here, if at all price is able to push a little bit higher as we open the week, I'll be looking probably for price to test this swing. This is a swing point over here to take out some liquidity. So I'll be having my pending orders there. So for NAS 100, this is a setup that I'll be willing to take as the week opens. So once we have the market open, probably during the London session, I'd like to see price pushing a little bit higher before we have that massive drop on NAS 100. So NAS 100, prepare yourself for shorts as the week opens. Now let's look at gold. Now, gold from the monthly time frame overall, price has been pushing lower. We've been very bearish on gold. From the weekly time frame, also very bearish. However, when we come to the daily time frame context, you'll see that the last moment that we had a break of structure was back here. That is in mid-June. So we've been trading this bearish move. However, for now, it's been very hard for price to get beyond this low over here. So at the moment, I would not be interested in trading gold actually. Not unless let me just pull a different gold chart. Sorry for that. Now we have this was the last break of structure from the 4-hour time frame context. Gold for now, we are in a very messy consolidation. Price is not ready to push either high or low. Anything can happen on gold at this moment. I'll be lying if I told you that I know where price is headed to. So for now, gold, I'll be staying away from gold. Not unless we have a breakout of this consolidation, then we can be able to make a proper a price action backed analysis on gold. So let's jump on to silver. Silver. All right. So on silver from the monthly time frame, let's look how the month closed. Bearish on silver. The last a couple of months. From the weekly time frame context, still bearish price action. Now from the daily time frame context, again a very bearish movement on price. As you can see, we had a very clear break of structure going down here from the daily time frame, and then after that, price also has been making lower highs and lower lows. Now, maybe from the 4-hour time frame context, once we did this break of structure, there's another break of structure from the 4-hour time frame context, and let's see the levels from where silver is reacting. Price has already reacted to the 50% fib zone from the 4-hour swing high and swing low. It would be in my interest to see maybe probably silver pushing a little bit higher before we can see a drop. So if at all price can be able to push higher, then we see a drop, then that would be interesting to me and also will entice me to take a position on silver. Otherwise, what we are having right now is that price is just similar as gold. Price has been in kind of a choppy mood, particularly the last 1 week or so. So we have some massive consolidation over here. So if at all silver is able to break this level below here, or even this level going up, then we would ultimately have some more clear what direction on silver. Let's look at BTC USD. BTC USD. Now, price has been from the monthly time frame context. We have had a bearish leg on BTC USD. Now, on BTC USD, what we have on the monthly time frame is that the price has been pushing lower. Now, from what we have on the charts is that we have what I can see currently is that we have this beautiful imbalance that is resting on the based on the monthly time frame. So price has been pushing lower from this leg over here. We haven't seen buyers take so much control from this leg over here. So I still look forward to going short on BTC. However, on the long-term context, however, for now, we'll be looking for price to at least fill this particular imbalance that has been left on the monthly time frame. So let's jump down to the weekly time frame and see what we have. From the weekly time frame, we had the change of character happening here on this particular structure. BTC USD. So this is actually the change of character on silver because based on this last break of structure going high or going up. Now, from what we have right now on silver, on BTC USD, sorry, probably what I'll be looking forward for this particular coming month of August, I would like to see what a retracement based on these daily high, swing high and swing low. So if at all we can have silver pulling deeper a little bit to fill the imbalance that we've seen from the monthly time frame context, then that will be interesting before we can start going short. So let's see if this one plays out from the lower time frame. Yeah. So the imbalance that I have already marked is this one here with the gray from the monthly time frame. And you can see like they still from the 4-hour time frame context. Price is making higher highs and higher lows. I would like to see BTC USD get into these zones over here before I can even think about shorting. So for last week, what we had is that we were going short based on this swing high and this swing low. And once price got to this particular level, we were looking for buys. Now, from this reaction over here, I did not expect price to come to test this particular demand zone again. But as well, price does what it wants. So already we have price testing this demand zone for the second time. So if at all this level holds, then I would like to see silver making a bullish move from this level over here, giving higher highs and higher lows, and of course to test the level that we've already mentioned here on the from the monthly time frame context to fill that particular imbalance that we have. Now let's look at the last asset, which is going to be US oil. So US oil from the monthly time frame, some little bit of confused price action. Let's look at the daily or weekly time frame. Okay. Okay, price. This is the last break of structure for price going up. However, we've had a couple of weeks going, some bearish weeks, another week bullish, bearish, bullish. So it shows that there has been a constant tug of war between the buyers and the sellers. Now, for this upcoming week, let's look at what price has been doing from the 4-hour time frame context. So price, as for this particular leg that we had, so price has been pushing high for the last week. So I still expect this price to push a little bit high, if at all still US oil is able to get to these 4-hour supply zone, because from the higher time frame context, the structure is not very clear. So if at all price is able to test these levels, and because we also have this gap over here from the daily time frame context, we had a very massive gap over here. So I think this one I mentioned it in my previous weekly market analysis. So if at all US oil is able to push to these levels here, which we have this imbalance, filling this imbalance, and again where we have this daily order block, or rather supply zone, then that would be an interesting move to catch. So for this coming week, or rather even let me just recall what we had for last week. Last week we were looking for price, we were trading off these daily fair value gap, and we were looking to trade a price once we had this change of character here from the from the 15 minutes time frame context. However, price did not get back to the price then did not get back to these 50% zone. Therefore, it means that we missed that particular trade. However, as the week was proceeding, or rather coming to an end, we did see price coming back to the 50% fib, reacting there and having a very nice push. So if at all I was trading this just a concluded week on US oil, this would be another amazing setup that I would have taken. So probably I was looking at it and I was seeing it was a very clear setup on based on the 5 minutes time frame. So this will be your change of character, internal change of character. Sorry. So this means that this was the last break of structure going down. So if at all you put your fib from this low to this high, then price reacted off the 50%, and we had a massive push high. So however, that is another trade that I participated in. So I still expect the price to push higher, come to this particular 4-hour supply zone. Once we get here, of course, we'll be looking for our signature setup model to go shorts on US oil. And if it's not even long-term shorts, at least we should be getting a reaction of this particular level. So let me know, guys, what do you think about these in-depth weekly market analysis for the first week of August? You can comment down below with your opinion so that we can be able to compare notes and share ideas. Now, if you have not subscribed to this particular YouTube channel, just to tell you that you are welcome to be part of the family by pressing that subscribe button so that we can be able to get and also notification button so that you can be able to get updated each and every time I upload a new video. I'm pushing content back to back, and we are almost heading to 500 subscribers. I can't wait to see us to 50,000, 100,000. I know we're gonna get there with time. So, but in the meantime, we celebrate a few our small wins. So, road to 500 subscribers. You can be part of the community. Make sure to subscribe. Of course, I'll be also getting you updated on the markets as the price opens for the new week. So make sure to join the Telegram community where I will be giving you real-time updates on what is gonna be happening. So I wish you a safe and lovely month of August. Happy new month, and also safe trading. See you on the next one. Thank you so much.